Welcome to Crosstalk, and today we're going to be speaking again about the Sisterhood Mary Queen of All Hearts Confraternity. I'm going to be explaining some of the steps to joining the confraternity, and the fact that you have missed the information meeting back in June is not going to be an issue at all. We're going to explain all of the steps in the process to completing what's necessary to join it, why you might want to consider joining, what the benefits are for you, and what the format's going to be this fall as we meet each month. And so lots of great information about the new confraternity. It's open to all women, no matter where you are, anywhere in the world, because we're going to be participating monthly online with Zoom. And we also invite all women interested in joining to become members of Sisterhood, so that we are linked together and united in sisterhood and in fellowship and in unity. And then if you decide, you can join the confraternity as well. And so lots of information that I think will be very helpful to explain what this new confraternity is and how you can become a part of it. And this is a wonderful segment for you to view and share with your circles, especially if you know other women out there that might be interested in something like this. Please pass the word along. We would love to have them join us. And we're very sure that you're going to really appreciate the benefits of belonging to this new exciting confraternity. Welcome to Crosstalk. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm going to be speaking today about a new initiative of Sisterhood. We've had an upload of Father Dan Dubroy speaking on the Deliverance Network, a little bit of coming information about our new confraternity. And this confraternity that Sisterhood is launching as a new initiative is open to all women. So I put that out there right away. All women from wherever you are in the world really can join. We are coming to you out of Ottawa, and we're going to be having meetings once a month starting in September for 10 months online via Zoom, so really able to join from anywhere. And this new confraternity is called Sisterhood Mary Queen of All Hearts. And it is linked to an association, I believe, in the United States, and it is the Mary Queen of All Hearts Association, and that you can find at queenofallhearts.com. And the Sisterhood Mary Queen of All Hearts Confraternity is going to be a journey, a sort of a Toas mission with Father Dan Dubroy. Father Dan Dubroy is a priest in the Ottawa area, very involved with the Divine Mercy movement. We're sharing today a little bit of information he's bringing to you as well regarding the initiation of the confraternity and the beginnings of it, and why it is so needed at this time in our hour on the earth. And with this confraternity, there's a few requirements for ladies to join. We had an information meeting in the middle of June with Father Dan Dubroy with quite a few ladies who registered for that information meeting. All of them have decided to go forward with the confraternity. And the requirements are going to be that you consecrate yourself to Mary through Jesus using a book called the Grey Book, and this is in the spirituality of Saint Louis de Montfort. And particularly the Grey Book is a 33-day consecration process that women enter into and journey. There's a prayer and a little bit of reflection for each day of the 33 days. And at the end of those 33 days, the women are to make a consecration formally to Mary, to Jesus through Mary. And then once they have made that act of consecration, we ask all women to register with this association, Mary Queen of All Hearts in the States. There's an easy link as to where to do it. So if you're interested in the confraternity, it's very, very easy to get more information. Please go to www.sisterhood.live, L-I-V-E, and look for Mary Queen of All Hearts Confraternity. Once you click our information page, there's a lot more information there and a contact form where you can register. And once you have registered, I will be personally sending you the email with all the information you need in order to join the confraternity officially, to find out what the next steps are, where to get your copy of the Grey Book. It's not a very expensive book. I'm thinking around $10, and have it shipped directly to you. And so this new confraternity, there are plenary indulgences as well that are granted to members each year. And Father Dan Dubroy is going to speak to us now and give us a little bit more of the backdrop and the history of the confraternity as it will be anchored within Ottawa, and also information about why it's so needed in our current time.
In 1969, Pope Benedict, as Father Ratzinger, gave an interview to a German media outlet, and he gave this powerful prophetic utterance about a church to become very small. And maybe we could actually put a link on to this later on or something. But I'd just like to just offer just a couple of thoughts of what then Father Ratzinger had to say, and I think it really ties into the new evangelization and the whole thing of the small Christian community. So this is what he says, just in part. Church can and will issue forth from those whose roots are deep, and to live from the pure fullness of their faith. And he says, let's go a step further. He says, from the crisis of today, the church of tomorrow will emerge. A church that has lost much. She will become small and will have to start afresh, more or less from the beginning. She will no longer be able to inhabit many of the buildings she had in prosperity. And as the number of her adherents diminishes, so will it lose many of her she will lose many of her social privileges. But the church that will emerge, he says, will be a more spiritual church, not presuming upon political mandates, flirting with the left and with the right. It will become a poor church and cause her to become a church that is meek. But that, he says, it will be a church that will be much more spiritual. It will be a sense of a small remnant, but it will be a community of people who are there because they believe in Jesus Christ, and they are there for each other. So in that, what he was really referring to, I think, is death of the cultural church. I believe that's fully what he was saying. So what is this cultural church then dying? And we see it, don't we, those of us who are Catholic. And it's painful. It's really painful to see parishes dying, and shortage of priests and vocation and all kinds of things like that. So we know from recent surveys that about 7 out of every 10 people who identify themselves as Catholic do not believe in the real presence of Jesus Christ. 7 out of 10. So talk about crisis. I mean, that's the essence of who we are. Jesus is present in his body, blood, soul, and divinity. It's called transubstantiation. 7 out of 10. So in some of these surveys, they also say that most Catholics have no problem with cohabitation. I think we can also ask the question, how many young Catholic couples of childbearing years use contraception, which is totally contrary to the teachings of the Catholic Church? And finally, the last one, I mean, there's many lists that we could give, but how many Catholics actually really believe in all things of the Catholic Church? Not just, as Pope John Paul referred to it, as the cafeteria Catholics who pick and choose what they want to believe that's going to be convenient for their lives, and maybe add some other religion so it becomes this kind of new age Memphis of some form of a religion. So when we look at all of that, that is plain. That's this cultural church that Pope Benedict, as Father Ratzinger was saying in 1969, is really in the process of dying. And again, as painful as it is, it has to be. It really does have to be. And I won't use the word joy, but I just really live myself with great anticipation and hope in this church that Pope Benedict is saying will reach this church of remnant, and this remnant church that will be there for each other. So that brings us to the Blessed Mother, in a sense, because something very startling, and I don't want to give too much away because we're going to meet on the middle of June. So, but I just want this hopefully to engage some people so that people will come to that meeting that we're going to have on the 15th of June and hopefully journey forward. But in interviews that Sister Lucia, a Fatima fame, gave in 92 and 93, she said something incredibly startling. She said that the triumph of Mary's Immaculate Heart has already begun. So we're not to wait for her triumph. It has already begun. When? She said May 13th, 1981, with the Blessed Mother saving the life of Pope John Paul in St. Peter's Square. For in the message of Fatima, the third secret was that the children saw a man dressed in white that they believed was the Pope climbing a mountain, and at the top of that mountain he was killed. And so John Paul really is that Pope of Fatima. History had already deemed that he was to die in St. Peter's Square, May 13th, 1981. But he himself said the Blessed Mother intervened, and one hand fired the gun, another hand directed the bullet. His life was, he should have died. All the doctors said that. He lost so much blood. It came within just fractions of major arteries and organs in his body. And of course, then in 1984, he goes on to consecrate the world to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. So Karen, I think it's really important. And again, I just really commend you because you have been so open to say that the sisterhood wants to embrace Mary even more fully as you have, because you have consecrated her to Our Lady of Mercy, which is absolutely beautiful. I would like to, or we, you and I now would like to not only invite your whole community, but I think our whole diocese and the whole world to come and embrace this confraternity of Mary, Queen of all Hearts. So what is that? In our diocese here in 1899, so 122 years ago, our then Archbishop Thomas Dubroy created a confraternity calling it Mary, Queen of all Hearts. In 1913, it went Pope Pius X, St. Pius X, took hold of it and transformed it into an arch confraternity, and so it went out to the whole world. The Montfort fathers have now taken it on, and they have put together a whole formation around it, beautiful formation videos as Father Gillespie. So that's what we're hoping that we'll look at in the fall. But I really do believe then that this confraternity that was established here is the place of refuge, because we really do believe that ultimately the place of refuge is Mary's Immaculate Heart. That is the place of refuge. And, because in the end her heart is going to triumph, her Immaculate Heart is going to triumph. We know that that is the place of refuge. So I think, Karen, this is what we're asking, isn't it? That we want to draw as many people as we can into this confraternity, into this remnant community. And doesn't mean we all have to go and live together on 20 acres of land outside the city, but that we can be together and in formation, which is what the sisterhood is really all about anyway, and to allow Mary to be for us in whatever is going to happen.
With the Sisterhood Mary, Queen of all Hearts confraternity that Father Dan has just spoken to us about, he's given us lots of information that I hope has really piqued your interest in joining the confraternity. We are asking that all ladies who wish to join the confraternity officially become members of Sisterhood as well, and that's www.sisterhood.live. And part of the thing with Sisterhood, we are about 5 years old now. We are endorsed by the Roman Catholic Diocese of Ottawa Carleton, and overseen by Father Francis Donnelly, who is a Companions of the Cross priest. And for all of those out there who know of the Companions of the Cross, really wonderful priest, wonderful organization. And Sisterhood, as its initiatives over the last 5 years, we've slowly been growing. We're over about 175 members, with members in different countries now as well. And we have a lot of the events that have run in person over the years until, of course, the advent of COVID-19, which changed things for everyone. And we've run Bible studies, workshops, seminars, social functions, monthly prayer and study meetings under faith formation. We had a Song Through Praise group, or Praise Through Song, and as well a Spiritual Mothers Praying group. So mothers praying for their adult children to return to the church. So a lot of functions. and things that are running now online through Zoom for the most part, and usually our meetings September to June. And the beautiful thing about Sisterhood is that it is a very flexible membership. There's no cost to join. There is no obligation to attend anything if you don't wish. You can just be part of the unity and the fellowship of knowing that you're part of this network of Catholic, mostly Catholic Christian sisters, and honestly it's open to any woman interested in exploring the Christian faith walk. We do have a couple of members for sure at least who are not Catholic, so open really to anyone who is interested in journeying with us. And with this organization you are able to click links to attend. You don't have to attend if you don't want to, or maybe you're interested more in one event than another. And it's very easy because once you register and join Sisterhood officially, we add you to our email distribution list. You get sent our monthly newsletter, and every month it gives you all of the information about different activities that are coming up in the coming month, and you simply click the link to join that meeting, the Zoom link if it's already there, or to register for it if registration is needed. So really, really easy to become part of Sisterhood, and most of the time no cost for any of the events. Otherwise, if something has a cost associated with it, it's noted on the website, it's noted in the newsletter, so really, really easy for you to decide what you might like to attend. We also have something called SisterNet that is part of this, and that's that desire to become a unity, a network of sisters, women in Christ who are there to support each other. So sharing of information, requests for support, requests for information. And so part of this initiative then, coming through now into the confraternity, Mary Queen of All Hearts, is to develop a more formal faith formation and to become an official confraternity with requirements for membership and with a variety of faith formation events that will be happening. And so starting in September, our first meeting will be September the 21st, 2021, online with Zoom, 7 o'clock at night. Father Dan Dubroy will be joining us each month, as I will as well, facilitating the confraternity meetings. And there are a series of videos available through the Association of Mary Queen of All Hearts that are going to be the impetus or the main bulk of the formation for the confraternity. And so once you register for that, we send you the links for the videos, and each month you'll be asked to watch a short video prior to the month's meeting. And then Father Dan Dubroy will be giving a talk and a reflection on the information that we have studied in that past month. And as well, we have the availability to have the blessing of Father Dan and to have prayer as part of the meeting. And that really nice connection with a priest, a Catholic priest. And of course, Father Dan Dubroy as well, very, very involved in the Divine Mercy movement, and so has a lot of information and knowledge as well about the times that we are in. The spiritual warfare of our times, the Divine Mercy, and a lot of very good knowledge and information and wisdom to pass along with regard to the spiritual warfare, inner healing, all kinds of different topics really. Father Dan, as a priest, has had much experience over the last 30 years or so as a Catholic priest. And so becoming part of this confraternity means you will also become part of this larger network of sisterhood as sisters in Christ. And lastly, I would like to mention that you do not have to purchase our Sisterhood Kit to join, though we do use some of the items in the kit in our regular monthly meetings. The kits themselves are designed to be inner healing, spiritual warfare, and reflection tools, both for personal use and for use in our meetings. And so in the kits, if you find them online in our shop, we have them shipped directly to you. They contain quite a number of resources and tools for spiritual warfare, inner healing. So fantastic resource for you to have, and as well a lot of the tools that we use in our regular meetings. So as part of a member of the confraternity, Mary Queen of All Hearts with Sisterhood, you're joining the unity of this bigger network of sisters. You will have the ability to have plenary indulgences throughout the year, and they're all noted on the Mary Queen of All Hearts website. So please check that out. And also there's a lot of information on the formation process using the 33-day consecration process according to the Grey Book, St. Louis de Montfort, also available on the Mary Queen of All Hearts website. So please check that out as well. If you're interested in joining our confraternity, it's not too late, even though you have missed the information session we had in June. you will be able to register online. I will send you an email. You're more than welcome to join the first meeting September the 21st. And another thing to note is that you do not have to have completed the 30-day process or the consecration prior to joining the first meeting. That can definitely be done at a later date. And we are going to be journeying with some women who we may meet online to do the consecration together as a group with Father Dan Dubroy, if possible, perhaps even in person. And so if that is the case, it will be announced later in August, likely. So I'm really grateful for you to have been able to join us today to hear more information about the Mary Queen of All Hearts Confraternity with myself and Father Dan Dubroy, starting formally this September 21st, and will be 10 months of the year, September to June, no meetings in July and August. And really the flexibility will also be there for the monthly meetings. If you cannot make one monthly meeting, it's not a problem. But we encourage you to spread the word as well to other women that you might know of who might be interested in joining this confraternity. All women are welcome to join. And the other thing I might mention is that there's no conflict with becoming a member of this confraternity and other organizations you might already be part of. As long as it is fine with your organization on the other ends, there's some, I forget, it's the Missionary Immaculata, and there's no problem with them joining, and there's no problem on our end if you're part of another organization. The last thing I'll mention is that if you have already done the 33-day consecration process, according to the Grey Book, according to St. Louis de Montfort, you renew that consecration every year, but you do not need to redo it. So you would already be ready to go ahead and register with Mary Queen of All Hearts Association online. And there's a simple form you fill out online to say, yes, I've completed the consecration, and then they send you information by email. If you purchase the Grey Book, there's a card at the back, a postcard that you can fill out and mail in, and then you're officially part of the overall confraternity. So thanks so much for joining myself and Father Dan Dubroy with all of this information of our exciting new initiative, Mary Queen of All Hearts Confraternity through Sisterhood. And thank you for being with us at Crosstalk. I'm hoping that this is a helpful, hopeful initiative for something that you can do from your corner of the world through prayer, through discussion, through formation, through deepening your relationship with Jesus Christ, so that you have hope, joy, connectedness, and unity with other sisters in Christ, no matter what the times bring. So thanks so much for joining us at Crosstalk. May God bless you in your journey today. Well, the book that is going to be pivotal for the Sisterhood Mary Queen of All Hearts Confraternity and this new confraternity, we're very, very excited to share and to welcome all women to join, is a process of a 33-day consecration to Jesus through Mary. And the book that we will be using to process through this 33-day consecration is called Preparation for Total Consecration to Jesus Christ through Mary, according to St. Louis de Montfort. And I understand it's also referenced as the Grey Book, and this is by Father Hugh Gillespie. And as part of this 33-day consecration, each of the participants of the confraternity will be asked to read the book, and then after that subsequently perform that act of consecration on a specific feast day. And all of the information on how to consecrate yourself and what the feast days are will be provided, so don't worry, not to worry, but it will be for each person to obtain a copy of this book, and we are going to have them available through the Sisterhood website, so stay tuned there. And as well, the consecration is an act of prayer and study, and it's part of formation, as it were, to bring yourself closer to Jesus through that act of consecration through Mary. And so this book will be the handbook for Mary, Sisterhood, Queen of All Hearts Confraternity. And of course that confraternity will be journeying with Father Dan Dubroy, a priest from Ottawa, and he will be with us each month starting in September, and we're going to have videos, we're going to have information, question and answer series, as well as reading and consecrating ourselves with the book. And Father Dan will be able to answer lots of questions as we journey together, and I know that this process of becoming a member of the confraternity will be a great blessing to everyone who decides to join. Not only that, once you register yourself with the association in the United States, the members will be also able to gain plenary indulgences on certain days, quite a few days throughout the year, so not a small thing as well for the benefits and the graces that can be brought to you as part of this new Sisterhood Mary Queen of All Hearts Confraternity. Well, I'm hopeful that today's segment here from Crosstalk on the new Sisterhood, Mary, Queen of all Hearts Confraternity, and the information Father Dan has shared with us give you an insight into what the confraternity is going to look like, what it's going to be all about, and what you can look forward to coming up in September should you decide to join us. And I want to thank again Father Dan Dubroy from Ottawa, sharing all this wonderful information with us about the confraternity. I'm hopeful it's helpful and that you're going to consider joining us here at Sisterhood. It's going to be a very, very blessed organization, lots of indulgences and benefits as part of this, and as well that unity of being part of Sisterhood, which I think is so important in the times we are in and for the times to come. So thank you for joining us again here at Crosstalk today. May God bless you.